Sweet.
Yeah, that's right. That's what's going on. That's it. That's it. Greetings and salutations. My name is Sasha Moreau with FairVU, and this is an interview with Pxssy Velour from Reno. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So, a short podcast. We're going to talk about music and background and who these people are, where they came from, and why it is that we're sitting here. So let's get started just off the front nine here. Quick question. So why don't you introduce yourselves first so we get everyone going.
Hi, I'm Wolfgang. I'm the singer of Pxssy Velour.
Hi, I'm Zane. I'm the drummer of Pxssy Velour.
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm the guitarist for Pxssy Velour.
Sick. So Wolfgang, Zane, Claire, Sasha. That's tell us off camera. You can't see him.
Surprise!
So that's sick. So we were chatting just before we started rolling here.
Yes.
And this is a super cool interview for me, actually, because I've known Wolfgang for a very long time. How did we meet?
You were my French teacher my senior year of high school.
Right? Is that?
Yeah.
That's freaking wild. I was his teacher, he was the student. We connected over music and just sort of were friends since then. And I haven't seen you in 2 years or thereabouts. And,
almost 3 years.
So my band United Defiance 2 years ago, three years ago almost, 2022, where we were playing the Reno flea market and the punk rock flea market. And this incredible band went on just before us and they were rocking it up. And the whole time I was like, that kind of looks like Wolfgang. Like, is that? No. Man. Yeah, maybe, and rolling around and doing the whole thing. And I remember you came off stage and I was like getting my guitar all together and I was like giving you the side eye. And you sort of sidled over to me and I was like, are you? And you were like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah. I was like, I'm really happy to see you.
Anyway, let's chat Pxssy Velour real quick. So
Let's do it.
I want to know what everyone's origin story is as a musician. What's your backstory? What made you into the musicians that you are now?
I started drums because my older brother is a phenomenal guitar player. And he's 5 years older than I am. And
How old are you now?
I am 30 now. I'm getting old, man, climbing that ladder of life. One rung at a time.
Dude, getting old beats not getting old if you take my meaning.
Amen to that. And I'm stoked to be 30. I feel great. I feel like I'm in my prime. You know, yeah, doing the damn thing. But my brother is a guitar player. Again, that's 2 times I've done that. Hell yeah. And he was like, hey man, you should play drums. I was like, all right. And it took maybe 2 years to talk my dad into getting a drum set. And my dad was so against it. And my mom and my brother pushed for it. And I got the shittiest, cheapest kit that I possibly could. I think I still have pieces of it at my mom's house.
Okay.
Somewhere, just like I think it's in a school locker that we stole from Dilworth Middle School. But,
Allegedly.
Allegedly. My brother really pushed for it, and he and I would just jam, and I would learn like Van Halen songs and AC/DC songs and stuff. And then everything changed when he gave me LAMF by Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers, and I went, this is sick. Then he showed me the New York Dolls, because Origin Story and everything else, and just went all over the place. I went all over the place with music and just learned as much as I could and listened to everything that I could, and found my way back to my rock and roll roots, which is so sick.
That's awesome. I have seen you perform on drums before, and I've seen you with this band, and it's a pleasure always to watch you perform, and I'm happy that you're fronting on this because you've got a large personality which rolls over the crowd.
I got 2 of them.
Would you say you came from a musical family or not so much?
No, my mom loves music. She loves, so I go and see my mom every Sunday.
Okay.
Because it's family day. So I'll go over and hang out with my niece, my sister, my little brother, my other little sister, and my mom.
That's cool.
And we'll hang out. My mom always goes, well, I think I want to put on a vinyl. And we'll get up and she has a great record collection. We'll just go, we're listening to this one. And everyone just listens to a vinyl and probably has a movie on at the same time and is cooking or something, and we're all just hanging out and having a good time.
That's super cool.
It's really cool. But as far as musical ability goes, the only one in my family that played music before I started was my older brother.
Okay.
And then me, and then my little sister, who is actually in Pxssy Velour, but is at work right now because we live in a terrible society where you have to pay to play.
That's amazing. So good backstory here. You don't have to top it. This is not a competition. But go for it. Talk to us.
Well, I started playing music at the age of 7. My mom and my great-grandmother thought it would be a good idea to get me into piano lessons, and I did that for about 4 or 5 years, and then my family couldn't afford it anymore, and I took a few years away from music. I still listen to music a lot and had a deep appreciation for it, but instead I did sports in the time being. And when I was 15, my mom got me my first guitar for Christmas, and ever since then I haven't stopped. I'm 20 now, so I kind of like to play all instruments. I started learning guitar, and then I played bass for a little bit, and then I started playing piano again, and then just a few months ago I started picking up drums a little bit and really grinding that out for this band and stuff. And yeah, I would say that's my musical backstory.
That is a hell of a way to go about doing it, learning multiple instruments, especially in a rock band, learning the instruments that are used, because that allows you to have an understanding of how things fit together.
Yeah, I think it was mainly COVID that made me like want to pick up a bunch, because I just had so much time, you know. My mom was one of those people that was like freaking out about it, and I couldn't leave my house ever. So I just had a lot of free time on my hands, and I got really curious and bored. So,
dude, you just said the magic word. Curious is like, that's
curiosity.
100%. That's the best. Hell yeah, dude. Good backstory. Hell yeah. All right, lay it on us, Claire.
Well, I actually didn't start playing music proper, at least guitar, until Pxssy Velour, that first, special night. And I only picked it up like 2 months before our first show as the Cramps cover band. But before that, my first instrument was probably piano too. And then in school, I played like 1 year violin, and then clarinet, and then trumpet, like random stuff like that, which is not the most helpful, but it still gives you, like you said, like that good, I don't know, the bones.
That's a good way of putting it. The
Yeah.
bones. I like that.
The bones.
Well, and the other thing is, a lot of music, I mean, for a lot of people, it's like learning about what you don't want to play.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
absolutely.
not all instruments are created equal for all people. And, I mean, my son played trombone and then was like, nah, not really. And then went to trumpet and then went to French horn. And then he ended up quitting band. That was just not his scene. He didn't have the experience that I had, growing up. But, he loves guitar and loves music, and that's it. So I'm happy that you found something that resonates with you,
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always wanted to play guitar. My dad played a lot of guitar. That's actually his first amp. Ooh. Or not his first, my first that I played on, and it's his. And I would go there's pictures of me sitting in his acoustic guitar case when I was 2, 3, 4. And I used to nap in there and stuff. So it's always been a comfort. And then I would go steal his '69 Fender Mustang with the cherry red with the racing stripe.
Yeah.
And then go lock myself in my room and play guitar.
That's super cool.
But it was you can't, it's harder to teach yourself more than cowboy chords when you're just fucking around, basically.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Okay, so we got the backstory for all of you in terms of who made you into the musicians today. So I've got to ask you about the event, all right? I want you to give me, if possible, a musical memory, a significant musical memory. Now, this does not have to be the best, this does not have to be the most important, but just something that when you think about music and your journey as a musician through it, what was the event, what was something that cemented music as a positive force for you in your life?
Probably jamming in the garage with my brother or my friend in high school. It's this is fun. This is fun to do. I like doing this. And then I was like, I don't care what I do, I just want to play music. Okay. And yeah, it's just jamming with friends, honestly.
That's cool.
I think that was what did it. And then shows started happening. I was like, okay, this is really sick. But the first initial I want to play music was jamming with friends.
Nice.
And just creating something.
So what made it really sick about the show? I'm curious about that phrase, because your face went and lit up. That's what I'm after there.
So playing drums my whole life, I was like, okay, this is fun, this is cool, but I'm anchored.
Yeah.
I'm severely anchored, and then in my other band, Impurities, I started breaking away from that anchor more and more, and then finally Pxssy Velour started, and I was like, I'm free. I have a microphone and nothing else, and the extreme I just like am able to turn off completely, and it's like everyone tries to balance like spirit and human human nature, and then human nature take over and just feel like do anything. It's like true freedom.
To lose yourself in the moment.
Exactly, 100%. Like the music is just there, and I'm like, oh, this is, whoa.
I call that your caveman mode.
There you go. There you go. Sweet. Okay, who's next?
Well, again, my dad being like my backbone for music, like anytime that he was home, there was just loud music playing. Like one of our cabinets in our family room was like just CDs, another was just tapes. And then he has this record collection that I now have. Wolfie can attest, it's probably like 1,000 records.
Absolutely more.
And it was always the loudest it could be. Like it had to be loud. So I've always loved listening to music loudly, but then playing it is like visceral. Like you can feel it. Like that's, I think now why I play my hollow body is because it's like,
oh, that's cool.
Through you,
that,
know?
That allows you to feel the vibrations more than, ooh, I like
yeah,
that.
I really like it. And then, I don't know, when you're like, growing up going to shows and like, I don't know, you know when your throat rattles?
Yeah.
I love that feeling, but to be the cause of it is just like way more fun. In a way, they're different. The live moment for me was our first show, like so scared, practically in my underwear, because I was dressed up as Poison Ivy.
Right, okay.
And also on acid. And but I have such horrible stage fright in the first place, so having all of those things combine into this like, this is what I've always dreamed of, and I'm tripping really hard, and it's Halloween, and we're honestly both in our underwear. Wolfie's in this like tiny little like, what do you call it?
Tiger print speedo?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And he's like climbing the rafters in this giant vintage barn, and everybody's like, this is awesome. I'm like, you don't understand, this is awesome. But you know, that moment of like, oh, I can do this. Like, and people like it, and I like it. It's just like, that became like, that, you know, playing music is addicting.
Good, significant memory.
Yeah, thanks.
Hell yeah.
I have kind of two stories. I think what really made music a more prominent thing in my life, like the most important one that I can remember at least, and it's super simple. I was like 14, and I was skating home with my friend Isaiah at the time, and he had headphones in, and he couldn't hear me talking to him, and I was like, what are you listening to? And he like gave me the headphones, and it was Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana. And I was like in front of my house, and he showed it to me, and we like listened to the song together. Like I had one in my ear, he had one in his ear, and we were listening to it. And then I went inside and I listened to that whole album for like 3 hours. And then I think I have another story, but I wasn't playing. I think what really made like me wanting to actually get on stage and play music, like outside of just appreciating it and like actually wanting to take action and do it.
God, the suspense is
was it was my first ever Holland Project show when I moved to Reno, and I saw Piss Mixer, a local hardcore band, play, and you know, we were in their second stage called Servapool, and it was like maybe a room like this. It was like kind of like garagey feel.
Okay.
Like it didn't seem like an actual venue. It just seemed like a room that we went into. And they played, and man, like the entire room just like erupted with like primal energy, and like people were like hitting each other, but it was like all love. Like I saw people, I was like scared for the first time watching music, and then I saw like people like hugging and laughing while also being like so angry and primal. And I was like, holy shit, like making noise can do that to people. And that's the only instance I've ever seen people do that, you know? And I was like, that's just really cool. I really wanted to like do that. And then a few months later, I played my first show.
Sick. Dude, I love my job. I love getting to talk to musicians about why they love what they do. Sweet. All right, shifting gears here for a second. As artists, and this could be as Pxssy Velour, this could be as individuals, whatever it is, do you have a favorite piece of your work, a favorite song, a favorite record, something that you like, that you appreciate? And this could be difficult because a lot of artists I've met are like, I don't really like my stuff. Like, I don't listen to my things or whatnot. What do you like? Give me something, a track, could be from this one or whatever.
I honestly love every Pxssy Velour song that we have. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, this is so sick. Like that's
That's
just,
the total opposite side of the other artists I've met. That's awesome.
that's
Good
just
for
me.
you.
Like if I'm like I want to listen to something real and hella raw and just like primitive, I'll put my own band on.
Hell
And I'm
yeah,
like,
dude.
This is sick. What do I listen to after this? And it usually gets followed up with like Cramps, Dead Boys, Stooges, like New York Dolls. I'm like, all right, sick. Now I'm in a mood today. Hell yeah. But my favorite is probably one of the new songs we have that we are recording very soon. We just wrote it like 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Something like
Well, which one?
that?
Oh, yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago.
That one ripped.
That is so sick.
I'm sorry, that was the most musician moment ever. What was the name of it? You know that one. That was sick. Do you have a name for it yet or not yet? Still too early.
Working title is Hog Squeal.
It reminds
that's cool.
us of like riding your
Yeah, yeah,
motorcycle,
yeah.
you know, like.
But yeah, probably that. Or we're also sitting on a live album from Zane's first show with us.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to sprinkle it in our next couple of releases.
Okay.
Like just songs here and there. His very first show with us, didn't tell any of them that it was getting recorded. But our buddy Quentin Bunk, the drummer of Piss Mixer,
Yes,
shout out
who
to
inspired me.
his
Very
story.
much so.
He was there that night doing sound. I was like, hey, Quentin, you recorded a live album for us in July. Yeah, exactly. I was like, He's like, I actually had a feeling I should bring my flash drive tonight. So yeah, I was like, yes. I was like, it's Zane's first show with us. He's like, do you want me to tell him? I was like, no. He's like, good. I love it that way. I was like, sick. I didn't tell Claire. I didn't tell Millie. I didn't tell Zane. And then after, I was like, hey, guess what, guys? Like, well, I was like, you guys played great, and it is forever recorded. So, ha 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 ha, ha. And they went, oh, sick. And I was like, yes.
It was a musical conspiracy.
It was. It absolutely
Okay.
was. And then we got it, and I sent it to them, and they're like, this actually sounds really good. I was like, yeah, Quentin Bunk did it. Like, of course.
Duh.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah. It was a nice little
Hell yeah.
surprise.
Okay, so tentatively Hog Squeal, and then the live album, which we will get sort of here and there, which is sweet. Okay, talk to me.
I would probably say the song that he said, Hog Squeal. I really like that. I helped write it a lot, and I'm really proud of it. My other band's named Brusher just released our first single. I play guitar for that band, and we just released our first single, and I really
Congrats.
like the song,
It's
and
honestly sick.
I'm really proud of it.
What's it called?
Your Side of Town.
Your Side of Town. That's a good title. That's a good music title. That's open to interpretation. Your Side of Town. That's cool.
Whose side? Your side, duh. I want to cut in also really quick.
Yeah, we're
And
good.
I just remembered we have 2 other songs that I really, really love, and we released it on a vinyl split with our best friends in Charity Kiss.
Okay.
And we only have it physical and stuff. So if anyone wants it, hit us up. We'll mail you one.
I don't know. It's not okay. It's not really a song or like a work specifically, but like I don't know. When people come up to us and they're like, either like you guys inspired me to play music, you're part of why I play music. Like that tops anything.
Sick, man. That's a really cool answer because that's creating connections with your audience, and obviously some of the art that you are making and producing and that you are toiling in order to create and to birth into the world affects somebody, and that's what it's all about, man. That is
exactly.
We will come back to here in just a little bit the soundtrack of your life, but that's we'll get there.
Okay, thank you for the heads up on that, because now I'm cooking in there.
Does not have to be an exact. Well, you know what? Let's go out of order. We're gonna go soundtrack of your life. So I'm curious. Let's go like one or two artists, and I will absolutely be tagging them in here. Talk to me about the soundtrack of your life.
Soundtrack of my life, specific, like a specific moment that comes to mind, and every time I put this record on, I go, I am 6, 7 years old, like learning about rock and roll. Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers, LAMF, one of the best records of all time, one of the best rock and roll records ever. And also, Howlin' Wolf's self-titled, the one with the rocking chair on it, if anyone needs to know that.
No, thank you.
That's one of my favorite ever, and whenever I put that on, I'm like, yeah, this is real. This is real, this is life. This is life. Either of those two, I know it's a huge thing, but music is meant to be enjoyed, so.
Absolutely. Well, and you can't eat the same dish for your entire life and call it good. The variety is, where it's at.
Exactly.
Okay, amazing answer. Super cool. I'm not grading you on your answers, by the way. I'm just saying.
That's funny.
That's super cool.
I used to get graded on my answers from this guy.
There's just so many. One definitely is Pearl by Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my dad's like original vinyl, and it's like taped like several times around the edges and everything. So that's just one of those, it's like, if I don't know what to listen to, that's going on the record player. Otherwise, Rose Mountain by Screaming Females was pivotal. I had mono for 2 years, but I was in freshman and sophomore year. So obviously very isolating.
Yeah.
But I was just like watching a lot of, I don't know, band documentaries, and saw one about the making of their music video for Wishing Well. And they filmed it and then took like the actual film and like scratched on it, you know, that style. And then it went into like them doing tour stuff. And then the lead singer and lead guitarist, she started talking about how she had this like mysterious illness that was basically all the symptoms of mono, and how it was just like so awful. And I was like, oh, this is crazy.
So that connected with you,
Yeah.
like on a non-musical level of something that was happening in your life.
Right. Well, also like a female-fronted band and guitarist who just is an incredible musician. And I was like, that's what I want to do. Oh my gosh, we also have this other thing in common. And it just felt like, I don't know, being
A meaningful
seen.
coincidence.
Yeah.
That's what
And then
Carl Jung would call a synchronicity.
I was just talking about synchronicity at the bar last night
See?
when we were seeing our friends, the Snares. Also, hopefully we plug them because they're great.
I love the Snares.
Love the snares. The snares
Yeah.
are sick.
Snares are like the best band in the universe.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Someone mentioned synchronicity, and I was like, isn't that a movie? And then we figured out it was a movie. And now we're talking about synchronicity again.
There you go.
Anyway,
That is the essence of synchronicity.
it is
Wow.
the spice of life. Your turn.
Number 1, Led Zeppelin 1. I've been listening to that since I was like a boy, and I think every song on that is just like, I could listen to it at any point in my life and be happy with it. Bleach by Nirvana. It brings out like, I feel like a lot of the songs bring out like my goofy, like little shithead energy, you know, like being a fuck ass. And
That's a good way of putting that. Yeah.
and then Sgt. Pepper's and Lonely Hearts Club. Really love that album, and I've also been listening to that since I was a kid. And it's very weird and makes me feel like a kid again when I listen to it, just because of all the cool little noises that are in it. And
When I'm 64 was like one of my mom's all-time favorite songs. And when I started on clarinet in the 6th grade, I ended up learning that and like blew her mind. Like
Aw.
that was the thing. She would ask me like, would you play the Beatles for me? And I sucked at it, of course, because it was 6th grade. Okay, amazing. So the soundtrack of your life, we will tag all of that. We will, because you know that you guys are not alone. You share all of that music with 8 billion other human beings, which is super cool. And that's what this is all about, is recognizing music for what it is, as art and not as a commodity that just gets thrown away and used and then discarded. Let me ask you real quick, what do you like about being a musician? And some of this stuff we've chatted about, let's go a little deeper.
Being a musician is like, honestly, like freedom. If you do it how you want to do it and you create what you want to create, it's like true freedom. It's like very similar to skateboarding. Like it's a form of expression, and like there's no rules. Even if it's like not like the correct chord structure or like form, or you're going from a 4 to a 5th or all that stuff, like you can create whatever you want. And the only rules that are set are the ones that you set for what you're creating at that time. Or no rules at all, and it's even cooler. Like I've always said, the skate gods and the rock and roll gods are the same gods.
Oh, I absolutely subscribe to that philosophy and that thought. Would it be safe to say that music then for you, because of the no rules thing, allows you to engage in doing that when oftentimes you can't? Because there is a speed limit. You do have to pay taxes. There are.
Yeah, taxes suck. I owe $2 to the IRS. Oh man, $2. Yes, it creates a atmosphere of true like freedom, and like it's better to like do what I do on stage than out in the streets.
Yeah.
And be a menace, be an absolute menace, because our shows get crazy. And like doing that in like a spot where it's like, hey, y'all know what you came here for, like, and I'm not, like, I don't know what's gonna happen ever. It's just whatever is like, that sounds fun, like in the moment, just like yes, that does create a zone for me to have this outlet, have an outlet versus, you know, like I said, going out and being a menace in the streets.
Nice. What do you like about being a musician?
It makes me feel alive more than anything else in the whole world, more than any drug could ever.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think. I've thought about it a lot, and I think that like I don't think I could do anything else that makes me feel how I am on stage, And also like I don't think there's anything else in the world where you can make somebody understand how you're feeling without saying a single word.
Nice. Oh, that
And
was...
I think it does a lot of beauty for people, and I think it brings people together more than anything else as well. That's my answer. Heavy, for real.
Mine is, I think, a little less deep.
And no less valid.
Yeah,
It's all good.
I mean, it's just not as positive as your guys's. I think it's positive, but grain of salt.
Yeah,
Anyway,
lay it on us.
I think my favorite part is how punishing it all is.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, I think especially as like a non-male musician, you get just shit on all the time. Like I've had people tell me to smile more, smile less, like check my work, judge me for the type of strings I use, like quiz me to make sure that I know which strings I'm using.
Gatekeeping
Like,
bullshit.
yeah.
And like that band, name 5 songs.
Right, right. Yeah. And even if you do name 5, they're like, name 5 more,
You can't win.
You can't win, but, and also I don't think in the same way, like you're never satisfied with what you're doing. And it's a beautiful thing. And it also sucks really bad. And all musicians are like, I think, driven to the point of insanity a little bit by this kind of like, I don't know, work, like real interpersonal and like outside work.
Making art is actually work, and it is very difficult. When you hit stage, that's your office, and
Yeah.
So no, thank you for calling attention to that. That's super cool. And actually, I'm gonna roll around to the next question real quick because I want to know, what do you not like about being a musician? And you started to put that in there. So.
Well, it's still the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's hard because like I think that the thing I don't like, the thing I like the least is again just like the negative, like I don't know, men telling me I can't do what I love doing,
Totally
even if
valid.
I, whatever. And all these just other kind of forces, and you become that like evil for yourself as well. But I think again, still that punishment, internal, external punishment, it makes you better.
Yeah.
It like makes you a better person. It pushes you to like become a person that you didn't know was like there the whole time.
Hell yeah.
Makes you stronger and take less shit, which is cool. It's the suffering is the art, but the art is the suffering.
Yeah.
That's the name of
But
it.
it's
That's the name of a record. That's the name of a double record right there.
Yeah.
it is
Art
like
and
yeah.
suffering.
Yeah, it's the balance. It's like the metaphysical transformation, the like spiritual, like you were saying, mind, body, spirit, alignment, all of the things that are not, as bougie and weird and stupid as I'm making them sound.
You're not making them sound
Otherwise,
stupid.
the thing I like the least is carrying my heavy amp around, loading in and out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Super valid.
it's purgatory,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Talk to me. What do you not like about being a musician? What do you find challenging about being a musician?
I think I dislike standards in all genres of music, like
Okay.
kind of what you were saying earlier, Wolfgang, about like freedom and how it's like, yeah, it might not be the traditional structure of like how you're gonna align chords or anything, but I just don't really think there should be standards on art. I don't think it's actually like, I don't think it's like true or correct that there's a right or a wrong way. I mean, art is subjective.
Talk to me about what do you not like?
Okay, I also hate loading in. As a singer, I've been fighting the 3.5 years we've been a band
Yeah.
to break the stigma of the singer just shows up, because we all work full time.
Yeah.
Where the 3 of them are working. I was like, I got gear today, guys. I'll meet you at the venue.
Nice.
And I load all of it from, like I was telling you earlier, I fell down these stairs here,
Yeah.
not only with the drums, but turned around and fell down with both the amps. And the other thing I hate about not so much playing music, but something that comes with playing music, is like how cliquey it becomes in like the scenes and stuff. Yeah, I play music and I play this kind, like, cause we have people like, oh, it's Pxssy Velour, they're just a punk band. I'm like, yeah.
Gotcha.
And
It does get very clicky.
that's a huge reason when people ask us like, hey, what genre are you playing? Like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Well, what kind? Rock and roll. Well, like, you know, there's like this, and I just look at them like, rock and roll, period, done.
That's amazing.
And they're like, well, okay, like what? Like, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say anything. Like, yeah, if you want to find out, we have shit on Spotify. Like, fucking go listen to it and see what you think it is. Because fuck, like subgenres, that's fine. We're just a rock and roll band. I specifically changed the Spotify bio too. We're a rock and roll band because people are like, well, you guys are like super like this band or like this band. I was like, I like those bands, but we're not those bands. Like, I have way less money than all those bands.
You're not making a lot of money off of Spotify these days?
Nothing. Nothing.
I don't
Nothing.
even know how much whoever handles the PV account makes, but I just know that it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Spotify is very not rewarding at all.
If we're lucky, we might make 10 cents a month.
But it is necessary.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So, and that brings me to my last question, actually. What would make your lives easier as a band, as musicians? What would make your existence more efficient and more enjoyable? Obviously, okay, $1 billion, yes, but as a working group, what would make your life better?
Being able to play like worldwide, sold out venues, blah, blah, blah. You know, of course, everybody's dream. Just more time. Just more time.
That's literally what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's literally what I was going to say. More time. Like, I love, like everything about us. I love, like, that we all work full time. Not because I like working. I fucking hate working. But it keeps us real people. And we're just like everybody else. Like, we're just like everybody. Like, everyone has to work. Everyone has a job. Everyone does shit they hate. And we have to do that too. But we also do music. And the worst part is getting a practice schedule. Because we all work crazy different schedules. Like me and Claire, I work 7 to 5, 4 days a week. And then Claire works like 8 to 6, 5 days a week. And Zane does like...
I do the same thing as you.
Yeah, he does it.
Different days.
Yeah, he works different
And the bass
days.
player is working right now, which is why not
Exactly.
present.
Exactly. And yeah, they work service industry. So it's like, we're all over the place. So they mainly work evenings and then like, but I need more time because the spare time I have goes into like writing and printing merch because we do all of that ourselves. We're a very DIY band.
Yep.
Like we do all of it ourselves. We record like with our buddy, Jacob Darby. And then like our first 2 records we recorded at our practice space. And it's just like I bought mics from Guitar Center and then returned them in one day after because I was like, can't afford to keep these. So I put it on my credit card and then returned them. And we just hammered it out in one day. But again, like more time, we would have had a little more time. Like, let's do one more take and stuff. But also, it's fine how it is.
Yeah, I feel like it's really hard to work, to afford to play, to afford to work more, because now you're a sane person after playing. And then you eventually, hopefully, have enough money from all of that to record stuff like properly. And then there comes printing, and then there comes touring, and there's press, and there's shirts. And, yeah.
And you're doing all that yourself.
Yeah.
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 Welcome to being a working musician these days. Anything you want to fill everybody in about upcoming shows or what you're up to?
Oh,
and
man.
where can we find you on the internet? What's going on?
As
Tell
far
us
as
about the band.
upcoming shows and stuff, we play Las Vegas on April 19th, followed by Reno on April 25th. If you want to keep up to date on when we're playing and where we're playing, Instagram is the @ is PXSSYVELOUR.
Hey, Internet, my name is Sasha Moreau with FairVU. This has been an interview with Pxssy Velour, and we're out. Thank you.